All right, everybody. Today we are breaking out the big guns, and by that I'm definitely not talking about us. We are going to be reviewing the Bowtech SX 80.
Yes, super extreme.
Yeah, that's it. I can't think of another name for it.
Super xylophone.
Yeah, the
Super
X,
xenophobe.
the X limits you a little bit there.
Yeah.
All right, so this bow, for those of you that don't know, is kind of like Bowtech's answer probably to the Revolt X80 not selling all that well. It's a weird world when you get into 80-pound bows, because basically what they did is they took their smoothest drawing cam, which was built from like the SS platform all the way back like to the Realm series, and it's just kind of been the same cam that's been tweaked and changed a little bit just to accommodate the new bows, and is now currently found on the CP30 and also the SS34. So basically what this bow is an SS34 with 80-pound limbs, and to accommodate for the extra energy there, you got the aluminum style limb pockets on them as opposed to the polymer pockets that are on all of Bowtech's bows, which I saw people complaining about that, like, oh, I'll never buy one of those. I've never seen a problem with those limb pockets. So it's like Bowtech did their homework.
Even like multiple dry fires, and I've never seen a limb pocket go.
Yeah, Bowtech did their homework. They're not just going to put something out there that's going to explode willy-nilly, so...
Yeah, no.
They've learned from the past.
Put
it that way.
Yeah, thank goodness. They like, our warranty department is broke. Let's make this better. So yeah, Luke has his kind of set up, not completely. I have mine set up, probably the way I'm going to shoot it, minus the 60-pound limbs that I probably am going to need. First day I got it, I was like, I'm going to build this and shoot leagues with it that night, and it was a 5-spot night, which is a horrible idea. So yeah, I shot probably 100 arrows through it that day, and it took a few days for my shoulder to recover. But the bow is 80, obviously. It's 81 and change, but very smooth. If you like an 80-pound bow, this is a great 80-pound bow. I've shot lots of 80-pound bows in the past. Tried to shoot a 90-pound bow, didn't work. But this, I could shoot leagues with it, could easily hunt with it. Might make it to tack, I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll get you some speed numbers. If you're interested, it does have the QAD integrate. It's not core, so you got to run the QAD on there. I decided to spice it up with some colors so nobody accused me of being a meathead. So
definitely a meathead.
Yeah, shut up. Not a meathead. So yeah, this is it's a fun bow. I threw a landslide on it, some shrewd bars I had laying around. But yeah, other than that, just waiting on some strings to add some more color. And yeah, let's get you some numbers.
Look at that, I already dinged it up. So, trying to think, we did this video a while back about 80-pound bows.
Oh yeah.
And actually, this is kind of funny. So, Joe was watching a Joe Rogan something or other, and he said that Joe Rogan was going video to video watching 80-pound bow reviews.
Yeah. So Rogan, if you see this, next time you're in Ohio, to swing by.
I'm really hoping that Joe Rogan saw us acting like complete fools with this old 80-pound bow review.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like a novelty thing, really, because with today's modern bows, you don't need 80. If you want to pull 80, you can pull 80. Like, we got a guy that comes to the shop, and he literally just wants to pull a heavier bow than anybody. He's got that 90-pound bow that Joe was talking about earlier. I have this, and it's not going to be one that I shoot often, but it might be a tack bow because it'll shoot like a heavier arrow and carry, like, you're not going to get any better speed out of an 80-pound bow. So don't get an 80-pound bow just to get speed, because if you shoot a proportional weighted arrow to each poundage, you can shoot a 50-pound bow and shoot the same speed out of an 80. So that's not the reason, but you will carry more energy for more penetration hunting or for...
bucking the wind.
Exactly, yeah. So you can have like a little bit more resilient of an arrow going through to be less affected by the wind.
Yeah, we had a lot of wind issues at PA Tech last year on the Prime course. I think it was Prime.
It was Prime.
Yeah, because there was like an antelope at 90 something, and like literally you're aiming at its butt to try to get it into the vitals. So yeah. We're gonna try heavier arrows this year.
I watched a dude shooting a Destroyer 350, 60 pounds, and he was shooting Super Drive 23s, which is not the arrow I'd recommend. I mean, the dude shot fantastic, so nothing against him, but he was holding on the rear end of the buffalo at 127. That's where he said, he's like, okay, so the first one's missed in front. So he was holding on the rear end, shot it. We could literally watch his arrow shoot and then turn, and then he missed probably 3 yards in front of the buffalo, which is already a huge target.
Yeah.
So for stuff like that, it's going to be a little bit of a defense against the wind, but there's only so much you can do there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll shoot a couple times, tell you what we think about it, and then we'll throw out some numbers.
Cool. Let's do it.
All right, so I'm just going to throw a couple arrows down there for impressions and the ultimate see how smooth you can make it look pull. We'll see how it goes. This is 28.5. Actually, this is set on 29 because the Bowtechs are drawn just a little bit short this year. And yeah, we'll see what we think.
Goes to 80-pound reviews. Cam takes the back seat because Cam cannot draw 80-pound bows.
His arms are too long.
Oh my gosh, dude. That shook the building. I said this earlier in the video. It's weird when you get to 80-pound bows because they went from the Revolt X80, which is a harder cam, to this, which is a smoother cam. So to pull more weight, they went to a smoother cam, so you're losing energy but also gaining energy. It's a weird thing. So yeah, I think we ended up doing some testing last year, and probably pound for pound, if you took not pound for pound, if you took a 70-pound SR350 on performance against this thing, we'll call it performance just to keep it the same, your speed and energy is not going to be all that different. So it's just kind of like a draw cycle thing. Like, this is a smooth draw cycle, even though it's an 80. Like, you got to hit 80 at some point, but the whole way that the draw cycle feels, the draw curve, is it's really smooth, I guess is the way to put it. Yeah, I think that about sums it up. I'm not a big fan of the Bowtech grips, but I'm like the minority of that here. Everybody seems to like them, so I got the Gillingham grip on this thing here. But the thing feels awesome, and the riser holds awesome. And you can do what Joe does and just get this. If you really don't want the polymer limb pockets, you can get the aluminum, put 60-pound limbs on it. This is a fantastic hybrid bow. It'll perform pretty well in target shooting scenarios too. So it's got a long riser on it. It's really a great all-around bow, whether you get it the SX80 or the SS34.
Moment you've been waiting for.
Yeah, no, drawing the 80 again. So it definitely won't be first impressions for me since I've got quite a few arrows through this bow already. But it'll be the first time you guys have been here while I've shot this bow. So yeah, I did basically a hunter setup on this. It'll probably change, I'm sure, as it evolves and I figure out what I'm going to do with it. But I did add the Bowtech, what is this, 15 degree grip, which I like. I'm still looking for my other Gillingham grip. I'm not sure what happened to it, but it'll be on there eventually. So
the clutch grip.
Yeah, it's smooth. I mean, there's no way around it. The 34SS at 60 is amazing. This bow at 80 is a little, less amazing, but it's very smooth for an 80. Like my PSE that was 80, the EVL 34, was a much rougher draw cycle, but this, like I could easily, shoot 3D with this or hunt with this or tack would be no problem. Yeah, it just feels good, and carrying that extra weight is always a plus. So yeah, let's get you guys some speed numbers because I know that's what you really want. You don't want me to babble on and on. But yeah, we'll get you some numbers and we'll go from there.
Okay, speed testing here. We have a 408 grain arrow. So this is minimum weight for this thing here. Just over minimum. Whatever.
311. Can't argue with that.
29-inch draw, by the way.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all, bro.
Over minimum weight by 8 grains.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I was 296.
Yeah, that ain't bad. So this is 580, 580 grain axis, 200 spine, brass up front. Jeez.
Okay, that one, 264.
260.
That's good. That's pounded.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now we're gonna screw a heavy field tip on this thing.
Is that this one?
No, I got it right here.
225 grain field tip, that makes this just over a 700 grain arrow. Because that's probably the reason you want to pull an 80.
So you can hunt dump trucks.
Shoot, hunt dump trucks. Stick really far into the ground after you've passed through an animal. And here goes.
You want to hunt and mine for gold.
120 grains over. No, yeah, 125 grains over the last arrow I shot, which was 264.
Mm-hmm.
That still ain't bad.
Okay. That is slower. 237. So.
Don't shoot a 700 grain arrow.
Yeah.
And if you do, make sure you're hunting within 20 yards only.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the speed of like an indoor arrow. Well, it's the weight of an indoor
Still
arrow.
way faster than my recurve.
That is true. Alright, so those are the numbers on the SX 80 at 29 inches. 80, I think it's just over 80, like 81 pounds or something like that. Alright, that has been our review. Thank you guys for watching, and stick around for another video.